Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the full-stack data analysis pipeline. I want you to picture this entire process like a high-tech manufacturing plant. We're going to look at exactly how we transform raw, unrefined data into polished, high-value business insights. Whether you're prepping for a senior data analyst interview or you just really want to master advanced data analysis project workflows, you are in the exact right place. Here's our game plan for today. First up, extraction using advanced SQL strategies. Second, preparation with Excel data cleaning. Third, modeling to shape the data. And finally, visualization with dashboards and reports. Let's get right into it. Section 1. Extraction Advanced SQL Strategies. Mining the raw materials. So the absolute bedrock of reliable extraction comes down to ACID properties. Atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. If you've ever wondered how databases prevent total corruption during a sudden crash, well, this is your answer. Atomicity means a transaction is an all-or-nothing deal. Consistency ensures it follows every single database rule. Isolation keeps simultaneous transactions from messing with each other, and durability guarantees that once a transaction is committed, it is saved permanently. This is how we protect our raw materials. A crucial starting point here is knowing exactly where you're pulling your data from. Are we talking OLTP or OLAP? OLTP handles your everyday, super fast operations. Think a busy e-commerce checkout. OLAP, on the other hand, is your heavy-duty analytical warehouse built for complex queries. You definitely wouldn't want to run massive analytical queries directly on an OLTP system, because you could literally slow down the entire business. But hey, what happens when our data mining operations crash into each other? Imagine two transactions stubbornly holding onto resources the other one desperately needs. It creates a deadlock. Basically, an infinite waiting game that grinds all progress to a halt. So, how do we break it? Well, it takes a multi-step strategy. First off, databases usually implement deadlock detection to terminate and retry one of the transactions. But as analysts, we can actually prevent this. We reduce lock contention by writing highly optimized queries, we carefully manage our isolation levels, and we make sure to access resources in a consistent, predictable order. Keeping this extraction workflow moving is absolutely vital. Now, when we're trying to speed up data retrieval, we're constantly facing this massive trade-off: indexing versus denormalization. Indexing speeds up reads without changing the data's underlying structure. It's literally like the index at the back of a textbook. Denormalization simplifies things by pre-joining data. It's incredibly fast for read-heavy workloads, sure, but it eats up storage space and introduces redundancy. It's always a balancing act. Moving on to Section 2, Preparation, Excel Data Cleaning, the refining process. Quick fun fact for you, just to emphasize the massive scale we're actually working with here. Did you know there are up to 64,000 possible unique cell formats in a single modern XLS file? Yeah, 64,000. Excel is an absolute powerhouse of a refining workbench if you actually know how to wield it. More often than not, the SQL data we extract comes over as messy, comma-separated text strings. Text to columns is going to be your absolute best friend here. You just select the text column, hit the Data tab, pick Text to Columns, and choose your delimiter, like a space or a comma. Boom! It systematically splits huge blocks of messy text into neat, usable columns. During this cleaning phase, you're inevitably going to need to merge datasets. Now, VLOOKUP is the classic go-to, right? It's simple, but man, is it rigid. Index match is where the magic really happens. It gives you incredible dynamic flexibility, searching based on criteria across literally any column. It's a real game changer for the massive datasets we handle every day. All right, here's a classic interview problem, and frankly, a daily headache for analysts. You've split your columns, you've merged your tables, but suddenly you notice holes. How do you systematically identify and handle missing or null values buried deep inside a massive dataset? The absolute most efficient trick is the Go to Special feature. Just go to Find and Select on the Home tab, choose Go to Special, and hit Blanks. This instantly isolates every single blank cell in your entire dataset. From there, you can globally fill them or delete them so they don't completely wreck your downstream calculations. Section 3. Modeling, Shaping the Data, the assembly line. With clean materials in hand, we hit the assembly line. Usually, this means jumping into a tool like Power BI. But first, you've got to understand a critical distinction in the workflow. Power Query is your tool for importing and transforming the data as it enters. Power Pivot, that's where the actual modeling happens. That's where you build relationships and write complex DAX calculations. The beast powering this entire assembly line is the VertiPack engine. This is Power BI's in-memory storage engine. It compresses data using columnar storage and dictionary encoding. That is the secret sauce that lets you query millions of rows with lightning-fast speed. So, how do we structure data for VertiPack? Well, schema matters immensely. A star schema puts one central fact table right in the middle, surrounded by dimension tables. It's simple, and it's heavily optimized for pure speed. A snowflake schema further normalizes those dimension tables. Sure, it saves space, but it adds complex layers that can really bog down your queries. In the Power BI world, star is almost always king. Now, optimization at its absolute finest is query folding. This is when Power Query takes your transformation steps, like filtering or grouping, translates them into a native query, and pushes them right back to the source system. So instead of your local machine doing all the heavy lifting, the database server handles it before the data even travels to you. It is incredibly efficient. Which brings us to Section 4, Visualization, Dashboards, and Reports. The storefront. Our data is finally modeled and ready for the storefront. But when we create visuals, our formulas matter. Take sum versus sum x in DAX. If you just need to total up a column, sum is absolutely perfect. But what if you need to calculate price times quantity for every single row before adding it all up? For that, you need sum x. It evaluates that row-by-row logic, giving you highly precise metrics. Choosing how to power this storefront is crucial because it dictates the user experience. We have import mode, direct query mode, and live connection. Import gives you that lightning-fast VertiPack speed we talked about, but it's cached data. If your stakeholders are demanding up-to-the-second, real-time updates, you're going to have to pivot to direct query or live connection to fetch data straight from the source. Once the dashboard is completely built out, we face a major security challenge. How do you handle data privacy across a huge organization? Say you want to ensure a branch manager only sees data from their specific location. You certainly aren't going to build 50 different dashboards for 50 different managers, right? You solve this with row-level security. Step 1, you define roles and DAX filters locally in Power BI Desktop. Step 2, you publish the report to the cloud in the Power BI service. And Step 3, assign users to those roles in the service workspace. One single dashboard dynamically filters itself based on exactly who is logged in. It's seamless and totally secure. And that completes our advanced data analysis workflow project workflow, from raw SQL extraction all the way down to dynamic visualization. So I'll leave you with this provocative thought as you tackle your next big project. How will mastering this seamless journey transform your impact as an analyst? Because understanding this end-to-end process, it doesn't just make you a tool user, it makes you a true data problem solver. Thanks for tuning into this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.